Welcome everyone to the Avengenerds podcast, where we talk more about DC, Star Wars, and more. I'm your host Torrent, and with me is my co-host Peyton.
Yo.
Today we'll be talking about Iron Lung in the news of the week. Then we time code the description of the show notes, you won't jump around. And with that, he's Peyton with the news.
All right, so starting off, we got some corporate stuff. Usually I wouldn't talk about this, but considering it has possible impacts on the stuff that we do talk about, I am talking about it. So Josh D'Amaro will become the new CEO of Disney next month. Dana Walden will become the president and chief creative officer at the company. Now, this is important because Bob Iger is currently the CEO, but if anyone remembers, he's been the CEO for the past few years, but he wasn't the CEO back in the early 2020s, where the CEO was Bob Chapek after Bob Iger decided to retire, until he came back and basically had to fix the company again. So the way this relates to us and our podcast, Bob Chapek, all the way back when he took over, he was in charge of the parks, I believe, but he basically mandated a bunch of stuff for Disney Plus, which is why we had all those MCU Disney Plus shows and why there was just basically all that output. The whole complaint with the MCU about quantity over quality, that's because of Bob Chapek and his demands for more content being put on the platform, particularly with Disney Plus. So that also extends to Star Wars and why there was all those Disney Plus shows, and that's why ever since Bob Iger came back, it took a couple years for those changes to actually come into effect. But that's why we've seen a lot of that pulling back into the quality over quantity sort of deal for Disney and with Marvel and Star Wars. So Bob Iger is once again retiring, and now Josh D'Amaro is going to be the new CEO. It's pretty unclear, whether this is going to be a good move or not. At the very least, from what it seems, from what I can gather, it'll be at the very least better than Bob Chapek. I think this guy is was also in charge of the parks, but he seems to be a lot more capable than Bob Chapek was. Chapek. I still don't really know how to pronounce his name. As far as Dana Walden as the chief creative officer, again, as far as I can surmise, it seems like a good thing. Her previous role at the company, she spearheaded a lot of shows for Disney Plus and Hulu, and was very much deep within that creative process, and really championed a lot of shows that otherwise wouldn't have gotten off the ground, like Only Murders in the Building, I believe, is one of them, and that turned out to be a really big hit for them. So you don't really know until it happens, but it seems like it might be an okay thing. It's also important to note out that Bob Iger and Josh D'Amaro it's not like Josh D'Amaro is like Bob Iger Jr. I mean, he very well could be, but it does seem like they do have different interests. Bob Iger has in the past seemed to be embracing AI. He's made statements recently talking about how AI is going to be integrated into Disney Plus, into Disney's workflow and stuff like that. But he is, of course, retiring, and Josh D'Amaro has gone on record and said that AI has no place at Disney. So whether or not he's saying that just to get into the good graces of people before he's actually officially the CEO, or whether he actually believes that, again, is unclear. But yeah, so there's that. Moving on to some DC news. Torn Junkie XL is now set to compose the score for Supergirl. Of course, Junkie XL, for anyone that's in the know, he previously composed the score for Batman v Superman and Zack Snyder's Justice League.
What a goat.
I mean,
Junkie XL, I was referring to.
I mean, I guess. I think Danny Elfman's score was better.
I mean, Danny Elfman's he's a top 3 composer.
Yeah,
top
but
5.
I mean, the Justice League score though it wasn't bad.
It was good. Definitely a top 10 superhero score.
Well, hey, let's calm down, man. Let's calm down.
No.
Let's calm down. No, but this is good. There was a previous composer attached, but it's unclear if that was in an official capacity, or maybe it was, I don't know if it was there as a, I'm not actually sure, but apparently Junkie XL is now set to compose the score. James Gunn hasn't really said anything officially on the matter, whether or not it's true. So this is really what we have to go on. But Torin, Clayface has been delayed from September 11th of this year to October 23rd. Luckily, not that far away.
Very, very good stuff to actually release a horror movie in October.
Yeah, that happens a lot where they just don't release like near Halloween. Is it because they don't want competition with other horror movies? I guess
I'm not sure.
I don't know,
but it needs to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks we're not getting it. We're getting it later, but it's not. At least it wasn't like delayed a whole year, like what has happened in the past with some of these. But
Yes.
Torn, that is the news of the week. I will say we are recording this the day of the Super Bowl, so if anything comes out of the Super Bowl, again, we're recording this before the Super Bowl, so if anything, we're not gonna be able to talk about it until the next episode. So, is what it is. But yeah, that's the news of the week, which means it's time to move on to our topic, which is of course Iron Lung, a new indie horror film from YouTuber Markiplier. Unfamiliar. Yeah, Iron Lung, based off the indie horror game of the same name. Markiplier, for whatever reason, was like, I'm gonna make a movie about this, and so he did, and it's become a massive hit, at least comparatively with its budget, and it's an indie film on a $3 million budget. It is projected to make a little over $30 million, an insane return on investment, insane. And it's been getting it's been getting mixed reviews. I'll say it has a very high audience score and about like a 50% Rotten Critic score. But yeah, so we're gonna be doing light non-spoilers than spoilers because it's only been out for a week. But we're gonna get into it in the spoiler section. But Torrin, what are your non-spoilery thoughts on Iron Lung?
I think Iron Lung is, I think it's a solid movie. I think it's also one of those movies to where I wish I had seen Markiplier's playthrough of the game. But I didn't do that. I walked in blind, and I've heard about this film for like years. Knowing that, like, seeing Markiplier, who I don't really watch too much, delve deep into this, space of creating movies was very interesting to me. We're getting a lot of YouTubers making movies. One of them being Raka Raka, now with Markiplier, and also with Chris Stuckman,
mm-hmm.
which is good, and I'm really, really enjoying this. I think while the movie has some problems, I initially give the movie maybe a 6, but I gave it a 3.5 on Letterboxd because of the fact that I think this is what every filmmaker who's in the indie space should strive to do. They should strive to have great production value and strive to actually just like reach for the stars and do what it means to actually do with this project, and for me, it's like I'm a big fan of like passion projects, and I'm also a big fan of people who have gone through like so many trials and tribulations to get a project out there to finally achieve their dream and achieve some success. And so that's just one thing that I really, really enjoyed from this whole entire thing. But overall, like, I would watch it again for sure. I heard that that David Szymanski and Markiplier are working on not only a digital release but also like a physical copy
Yes,
of the
thank
movie,
God.
which hopefully I would be able to get that, and so that way I could see the movie at my house, and hopefully some of the issues that we'll talk about are rectified. in the movie. But overall, I give it about, like I said, I give it about like 6. Like as like a movie, I think there's a lot of things that go on in the movie where it becomes a little stylish. Like there's some good camera work that makes them makes the movie stylish. That way, it's not too boring because it is a slower movie. It is a slower paced movie for sure. And like once it ramps up in the third act, I think that's when things get going. But yeah, like I said, I enjoyed it. I'm really, really proud of Markiplier for its success and for everything that's been going on. I know every time I would see Markiplier, he's like in the hospital or like he's talking about Iron Lung. And I'm like, bro,
I'm in the hospital again. Got blood in my eyes.
I'm like, bro, like what is happening?
Well, you remember when he got blood in his eyes, right?
I do remember that. Yes, that's exactly what I'm thinking about.
When you watch the movie, it's very clear which scene, like when it happened, I was like, oh, so that's how it happened. I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense that he got blood in his eyes. But yeah, I mean, fair not warning, what's the word I'm looking for, disclaimer, I suppose. I am a big fan of Markiplier. I mean, I'm not going to come out here and say like, oh, the movie is a masterpiece. It's incredible just because it's Markiplier. But admittedly, I'm a very big fan of his. And he's been talking about this movie for years. He filmed it years ago. He's been trying to perfect it. He literally built his own render farm in his bathroom with a bunch of like Mac Studios and shit like that. Like he's put so much of his own resources into this. To watch it succeed in this way is extremely, extremely cool. Like from him announcing it, like he's promoted things in the past. He promoted the show he was on, The Edge of Sleep. He's promoted a bunch of stuff in the past where he makes a video and he's like, he makes it some clickbaity something or other, and he's like, please go and do this thing, support this thing, go to this link and do this. For Iron Lung, he made a video saying like, this is the release date and all that, because he's been trying to get it released for so long. And it was in, at the time, 40 to 60 theaters, I believe, because I remember going onto the website and the only theater near us that was showing it was like 30 minutes away, which I was willing to do because I really wanted to see it. But honestly, I was worried it wasn't going to be near us at all, but luckily it was. And literally, he just, in a passing comment, was like, if it's not in a theater near you, just call your local theater, ask if they'll show it, because sometimes they do that. He didn't even make it a big deal. And then all of a sudden, it just, I guess, spread like wildfire, and people were calling up the theater. Markiplier was even talking about how some of the theaters thought it was like a AI bots like spamming the theaters asking for it, but it was real, obviously, and it went from 40 to 60 theaters to over 4,000, which is genuinely unheard of. This is the first time something like this has literally ever happened. Budget of $3 million, making over 30, ridiculous. Especially for essentially fully independent film. There's no distributor, there's no studio. He basically did it himself with his small team of people. The only advantage he has over anyone else is that he's Markiplier. I gotta say, I was really pleased with the film. I honestly, I didn't know what to expect going in, outside of, the basic concept of the actual game. And as far as a game adaptation goes, it's about as good as you can get. I mean, it's literally the game. There is a bunch of like expansions on the lore and stuff. The ending is a bit different, but it's essentially the game. I thought Mark and his team really did a good job, particularly on the production design and the cinematography. I thought it was really, really great. And a lot of people I think are being surprised by that because like it's a YouTuber movie or whatever, and you have, like Torn was saying, you have the Raka Raka Boys with Bring Her Back and Talk to Me, you have Chris Stuckman with Shelby Oaks, and Chris Stuckman is a bit different because that's just his name on YouTube, but it's not like Talk to Me and Bring Her Back is like Talk to Me directed by the Raka Raka Boys, you know what I mean? So I think when you have a film and it says written and directed by Markiplier, I think people have a certain expectation for it to be, not serious. And I think that's what's taking a lot of people by surprise. I've been subbed to Mark for over a decade now, on and off with his content, but particularly invested within the past 5-6 years or so. So I've seen a lot of his earlier creative work. He's done skits in the past. He actually said that's what he wanted to do initially, was to do sketch stuff. So he did a bunch of sketches that were decent, but then he started to delve into more creative, bigger projects. Like he did a Date with Markiplier, which is like a choose your own adventure thing. There was Who Killed Markiplier, which was sort of like a murder mystery thing that he did, where he himself is dead and he's playing a bunch of different characters. He did a Heist with Markiplier, In Space with Markiplier, and each of those just getting bigger and grander as they went on until, of course, we get Iron Lung. Now, all that to say, all of those projects that he did were very good for YouTube. I mean, it was some of the most creative stuff I saw on the platform. The writing and direction was genuinely very good. And of course, again, he's Markiplier. He has money, so he has the means to produce it on some level to make it somewhat competent. And then I think Heist and In Space were both at least partially funded by YouTube themselves, so he had that backing there. But anyway, I say all that because the one thing that sort of, to me, held a lot of it back was Mark's performance. It's not bad. It's not like terrible. Like I wasn't watching those going, this is so cringe and stuff like that. It was fine, and especially in those projects. I mean, it's Who Killed Markiplier. Like he's gonna be in it. You know what I mean? But with Iron Lung, he made the active choice to put himself as the lead, and I don't know if that was necessarily the right call. I thought his performance was fine in Iron Lung, but I thought it could have been a lot better. A lot of people's issue with the film is the pacing. I mean, like, it is definitely a slow movie. It's definitely a slow burn, but two things. One, I think ultimately it was intentional, and I'm really curious if Mark would actually agree with the criticisms, because he's like his own worst critic, and he a lot of the times does agree with a lot of the criticisms. He said that this entire movie was a learning experience, and he's gonna take all of those. He said he wanted to, from this movie, he made like a pipeline, so whenever he does his next thing, it can go a lot smoother. But yeah, his performance is fine. And I just kind of wish he put someone else in the lead role. But as far as writing and direction goes, I honestly thought it was superb, especially from a first-time director, technically. Like Torrance said, the shot composition and the amount of different shots in this one space. I mean, it takes place in this tiny little submarine. So the amount of creativity needed to get all these different shots to make it visually distinct, I imagine took a lot of work, and he said so much himself. But yeah, I honestly thought it was really great. I enjoyed the slow burn. I thought the very slow build up to what ultimately was a pretty spectacular third act, I thought was worth it. But I think I'm in the minority there, but it is what it is. Anyway, I'm sure I am biased in some way. I want to be as objective as possible, but I really did enjoy it. But yeah, the only complaints I really had was Mark's performance, which was ultimately fine, and also the audio mixing. The actual audio design was very, very good, but the mixing seemed to be off. But I did say in my Letterboxd review that it also could have been my theater, because it felt like it sounded like it was in stereo rather than surround. And like Torrin said, when it comes to home release, I want to listen to it, or I want to watch it like with headphones on, because I know Mark put a ton of time and a ton of care into the sound design, because that's something that he really loves doing, is the actual, as far as the creative process goes, is the audio design. So lastly, I'll say the score, phenomenal, incredible score by Andrew Holsholt. He did the music for the Doom Eternal DLC. He's an extremely talented guy, and he killed it with the score for this. But yeah, so Torrin gave it a 6 out of 10. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. And yeah, I guess we'll go into spoilers now,
dude. I see that's the thing about going in with this movie blind, is that I didn't know it went into that type of direction. That's also what made me like the movie a lot more.
The Eldritch direction.
Yeah, in the like this like Lovecraftian like horror type of thing. Like, bro, like I was like, what? That had me sold, bro.
Yeah, but the actual creature, freaky fucking design. Freaky fucking design. Way like, different than the game, which is just a fish.
No, I saw because someone did a comparison. I'm like, oh, dude, the game's just like he's just a little guy in the game, but in the movie, fuck no,
yeah,
bro.
Hell no for me, man.
Get that motherfucker away from me. But yeah, one thing I will say though, even though the mixing wasn't the best in the theater, I was able to hear the voices on the intercom a lot better for sure than like Mark. So like, you know, one of the women was like talking to him, like not the Phantom, but like the main woman was like talking to him and everything. I'm like, oh yeah, like she's getting pretty serious. I'm hearing everything a lot better. Phantom, I was able to hear some shit because like she's just like whispering. It sounds like ASMR. Troy Baker, we all know what Troy Baker sounds like. It's kind of just ingrained into both of us.
Yeah. I was looking at my brother. That's Troy Baker.
Like, this is Troy Baker. I was like,
you see him a little bit too. I assume that's actually him.
Yeah. When he fucking blasts some motherfuckers with radiation.
Yeah, he blasts Jacksepticeye with radiation.
Hey, look, man. Should have just listened to him. Man.
Yeah, let me talk. Can I talk about Jacksepticeye a little bit?
Yeah. Punch up.
So anyone that punch up. Anyone that doesn't know, Jacksepticeye is in this. He's the guy that gets blasted with radiation. At the time, I didn't notice it. Or I didn't notice it was him, rather. And then I saw a clip of it online. I was like, oh yeah, that's very clearly him. I don't know how I didn't notice it in the theater. But yeah, this is very parasocial of me, but there's some shit going on between them. Jacksepticeye and Markiplier, they don't seem to be friends anymore. I don't know what happened, but because they filmed this like 2 or 3 years ago, and I don't know what happened. They like unfollowed each other on social media. Jacksepticeye is very vocal about the stuff that he's been a part of. Hasn't said a word about Iron Lung. Mark hasn't said a word about his involvement. I really don't know what's going on between them.
Is he in the credits?
Yeah, he is.
Okay. So that would have been crazy if he's like, you just took him out of the credits.
Yeah. I mean, he'd have to be in there legally. But yeah, he does. There's no explanation owed to us, but I can't help but be curious, you know? I mean, what happened? Like they made content together regularly. They share a bunch of mutual friends, including Troy Baker being one of them, actually. But yeah, odd. But yeah, he is in it, and he gets destroyed with radiation, gets cancer raid. But yeah, God, what about this movie, man? The production design, man.
Like, bro, that's just phenomenal, bro. Like, just like just the way everything is crafted and like in that like in this movie is so good. Like also like one of my favorite shots is when like the camera is like it's kind of like a low high angle. Like it's low but it's facing high, and it has like the dashboard, kind of like it was kind of like a holographic like dashboard, and Markiplier like walks up and he goes behind to the little flash thing. That was so fucking cool. It was so sick.
The usage of the lighting in the movie was very, very good. I think this movie did break the record for most fake blood used in a film, breaking the record set by, I think it was Evil Dead Rise.
Oh yeah,
or maybe it was Evil Dead 2013. I don't remember, but it was one of the Evil Deads. One of the newer Evil Deads, which is funny considering, I mean, Sam Raimi didn't direct those, but it is his franchise. And now him and Sam Raimi are battling it out again with Iron Lung and Send Help, which is I think is very funny.
Where Lung?
Who knows?
God, they fucking did him so dirty by removing Iron Lung from the top charts.
Yeah, and then they put him back after everyone yelled at them. They were like, fine, I guess we'll recognize the YouTuber.
Yeah, it's crazy. But like, okay, so like for me, like, who hasn't seen this gameplay, you said that like he expanded upon the lore of the game, right? Okay. So that scene where the Phantom is talking to him, is that in the game?
No, not at all.
The
game, the game is extremely simple. In the game, that sort of monologue at the beginning.
Yeah,
that's like, oh, there's the moons, and then there's a blood ocean, and then the Iron Lung or whatever. I mean, that's just the beginning text of the game. The sort of audio log left behind by the previous person, that's in the game, but it was just a note on the floor of the submarine. And then other than that, I mean, it's just you're wandering around taking x-rays of all the stuff, and then once you get to the last one, you get chomped by the monster.
So like at the game or at the end, he died by the monster.
Yeah,
that's fucked up.
Yeah, so all the stuff, and then there was an update to the game called the lore update, and that's when they added that's when the developer added a bunch of stuff about like all the quiet rapture and you know, like the SM-18 and the SM-8 or whatever, all that stuff. That's when that was added. But yeah, all the stuff of him like hallucinating and all this, the specific background for the convict himself, that I'm pretty sure that was all Mark. Everything, all the people outside of the submarine, that's all added.
Okay. How long is this game?
Well, I see a bunch of people are like, oh, the pacing's so bad. It's a 45-minute. His playthrough's 45 minutes, but the movie's like 2 hours. It's 45 minutes, like edited down. I mean,
yeah.
If you watch there's a ton of like in between stuff that's cut out because you're there in a submarine, just like I'm like, what is he gonna do the whole time? Like he's got all that, so it's 45 minutes edited, but like if you play it yourself, I mean, I imagine it's a little over an hour. I mean, I'm sure it doesn't take that long, but
yeah, for sure. It's interesting. I really gotta fucking watch that shit then.
Yeah, originally that terminal wasn't there, and then that was added in the lore update.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm really curious to why Mark really took to this game, because he loves Eldritch horror, he loves cosmic horror. He particularly loves the game Soma.
I heard of Soma. Yeah, he
really loved that. He could have done a movie on that. but yeah,
I mean, who's to say who he wouldn't?
I don't know.
You know,
but yeah, I guess he just really felt like doing Iron Lung, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's really, really dope. But like, oh man, I think like what also, besides like the production design of this movie and like, you know, the shots and the overall the cinematography, I think I really, really like some of the CGI in this movie.
Yeah, towards
like
the end.
yeah, that shit is fucking great. That is like
The sort of like the slow-mo.
the slow-mo like
Very
blood.
cool.
That is amazing. That is like amazing. Like holy shit. But yeah, like I don't know. Like I said, I think I'm a really big fan of Lovecraftian horror, and the fact that the game, or at least like this this movie delves into that, it is really really cool. And knowing that like Markiplier was able to craft some lore into this was actually a really really nice touch, considering that like I haven't seen any of the gameplay, and knowing that like it's like I was gonna say like over an hour long game. It's really really cool. But like also one of the things I wanted for like this like for this movie, I definitely want more of like a more lore and shit like that, like, or at least like that's where the physical release comes in, because I'm able to hear like what actually goes on, because like Quiet Rapture, Blood, like Blood Ocean, Saving Humanity, like that's really interesting to me.
Yeah, and then it's revealed that the Blood Ocean is the blood of all the people that got raptured.
Yeah, which is
Nuts.
yeah, that's insane.
This is one of those movies where I kind of liked it more the more I thought about it.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like it's interesting to think about the concept and how it's able to unfold. And so like I know David Szymanski is working on another game, but it would be really cool if they were to like do like
Iron Lung
another
2,
lore update.
Lung Harder.
Iron Lung, Lung Harder, Iron Lung 2, Black Lung. This guy's just smoking cigarettes all the time.
Yeah, I would love an expansion on it. The lore does seem very, very fascinating. That's probably the biggest compliment you can really give. Like I'm very much intrigued as to what this world is about.
Yeah, most definitely.
But yeah, I think people's issue with the pacing, like I said in the non-spoiler section, was very much intentional. And ultimately I really enjoy it's a long, slow descent into insanity. He's losing oxygen, like, and he slowly starts to lose it. I don't know. I liked it.
And then like also that like it also in the lore too, for people who haven't seen Iron Lung, or if you don't care about games world, like there is throughout the story, the reason why this guy's being punished for what he believes is that like there was a filament station that was destroyed, and there were people there he was trying to save, and an operation went wrong, and now he's being punished for what he believes. But it's just like they're like, hey man, you volunteered, so you just gotta do this, bro, for humanity. Crazy. But the one thing I do like about this, like the like a theme of this story, is freedom, where it's like no matter like what you do, even if it's right or it's wrong or anything, just like there's an underlying theme of like capitalism and shit like that too. But it's like the one thing I do like about the dialogue, or like at least there's a couple lines in the movie where it's like, if I do this, then I'm free. And then like the concept of freedom is hinging on to the main protagonist, and that's what keeps him going, which is really cool to see. So it's like yeah, till I'm free, and he does achieve freedom, just in a different way, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah, and he doesn't stray from his beliefs. You have the eldritch being trying to lead him astray, and
yeah, which see like that too. Like there is another it's a layered meaning of freedom, which is like the being is like, oh yeah, like you will see the light. I'm trying to take you to a nice place. As as some eldritch beings do, yeah, for sure. Like, you know, like you said, they like lead you astray. I mean, like, I'm not saying like Cthulhu does that. Cthulhu just like, yeah, they get into your head for sure because they exist on a different plane of existence. Yeah. But this one, it's like, yeah, like, you know, obviously, it's also like a woman as well. So, or at least it has the voice of one. And so when it comes to that, it's like, yeah, like, you know,
I think that was, I think the voice was Alana Pierce.
Oh yeah, really?
I think so. There was a bunch of overlapping voices. Alana Pierce was one of them. Raul Coley was one of them.
Yeah, I did hear him. I was like, oh my god, it's him, Raul Coley.
It's him.
My Mr. Fantastic fan cast.
But yeah, there's a review of this movie by H. Bomber Guy where he says this choice of adaptation feels very personal. It's hard not to see parallels between the game's premise, disposably sitting in a small room hacking away at inscrutable work with an unknown chance of success, and being a YouTuber. All the anxieties about what this job entails at its worst are balled up, calcified, and atrophied under years of pressure and stress, and vomited back up like rotting stones all over the floor of the SM-13. Not quite literally, but sort of literally. Mark actually read that review and was like, that's something that he did. He was fucking crying. He was reading the review, and he was like, I didn't necessarily think of that, but I wouldn't be surprised if subconsciously that's what I was feeling when I was writing it. And yeah, I think that's a very interesting perspective of it. It paralleling being a YouTuber, just doing the same thing in your room, just talking to the voices.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing too, like, it goes into why I like the fact that it's a passion project, you know, like, you know, loving something and wanting to do something so much, especially when it comes to just like being a creative in general, is not easy. And the fact that, you know, he was able to craft a story based on a game that he played and go through this long process of filming it and editing and doing like CG, like Blender effects and everything like that, like that's just like, that's meaningful. And then like knowing that like he got the success, he's reading all these reviews, it's like really good to see him for sure. Yeah, I honestly don't. Oh, go for it.
He thought this was going to come out like a year and a half ago. He was like, there's videos of being like, Iron Lung coming soon, and then they're like 6 months go by, he's like, Iron Lung coming soon, and another few months he's like, if it's not out in the next 3 months, like I'm gonna lose it, and then it's not out for like another year.
I mean, I honestly have nothing else to really say about the movie, because I mean, I feel like we kind of already, I mean at least for myself, like I've already kind of got into what I wanted to say. But yeah, I mean, if you have anything else, we could chime in.
I like Troy Baker.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, and did you hear that Markiplier slept with the director's wife? Yeah, bro. You didn't hear about that?
I don't want to get sued for defamation, buddy.
It's not defamation. I mean, it's already out there. He slept with the director's wife.
He slept with his own wife.
Yeah, there was a tweet out there. It was like Markiplier sleeps with the director's wife, and there was a bunch of people that reply is like not understanding. He's the director, and they're like, oh my god, why?
Why
that's fucked this? Up. Yeah, this is why is not more people talking about this? Like, I think it is his wife. He is the director, bozo.
I didn't think I remember seeing that. Oh yeah, I did see. Yeah, YouTuber Markiplier allegedly slept with the Iron Lung director's wife. Despite this, he still managed to maintain his lead role in the film.
Yeah.
Source: it came to me in a vision.
Except like, it came to you in a vision. I mean, it's just real. Speaking of his wife, his wife is the sort of like creative producer on this. She's worked with him on a ton of his creative endeavors. But Mark has been like nonstop working for like 7 years straight. because he did a heist with Markiplier, which was another, like, again, a choose your own adventure thing, sort of big budget thing that he did with YouTube back in like 2019, I want to say. And then he went straight into Unis Honest, and Unis Honest was the thing he did with his now wife and his friend, where they uploaded a video every single day for a year and then deleted the channel. And then right after Unis Honest, he went right into In Space with Markiplier. That was so big he had to split into 2 parts. And then right after In Space with Markiplier, he went straight into Iron Lung. So he's just been working constantly, and he said that it wasn't supposed to be like that. It was supposed to, between In Space and Iron Lung, it was supposed to be a larger gap, but Iron Lung apparently came together way faster than he anticipated. But right now, he's like, now that it's out, he's like, I'm good. Like, he said he already knows what he's gonna do next, but he's like, I'm just gonna chill for a bit, because he's just been working nonstop for the past 6 years. I envy his wealth, but I do not envy the amount of work that man does.
So I'm trying to get you on these sets, bro.
Hell no.
So you know how filmmaking is.
Hell no. Markiplier's making $27 million off this fucking movie, man. He said he's giving the cast a huge bonus. He like comped like all the concessions for certain theaters. So if you got concessions at certain theaters in LA, like, shit was just fucking paid for.
Damn.
I know. Why does LA get all the cool stuff? I don't give a fuck if it's Hollywood. It's not fair.
Can't have shit, bro.
For real. But yeah, I mean, I think that's all I have to say. So yeah, you gave it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
And I give it an 8 out of 10. And after it actually comes out on physical, that shit's going up to a 9. No, probably not.
I honestly, I don't see myself giving it anything higher than like a 7 for right now.
I guess that's fair. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what he does next.
Me too.
I just hope he
but that's the thing about indie filmmaking, man. Like, or at least like when you have a certain amount of success, like, I want to see what's next. Like, I want the momentum to keep going. I want it. So big success to indie filmmaking. Big success to all the YouTubers out there.
Congrats to Markiplier.
Yes.
Hopefully we see him in Five Nights at Freddy's 3, the film.
No, yes.
He was supposed to be in the first one.
I don't know. It was because was he working on like Lung?
He was filming Iron Lung, yeah.
Yeah, he was filming Lung.
He was filming Lung.
Very long.
And that whenever that movie fucking came, that's how long he's been working on this goddamn movie. But yeah, so like he was supposed to be the security guard in the beginning, and dies.
Oh, man, there's he could do something for the third one.
Yeah, well now he's like, I want an actual role. I don't want to just be a cameo. And I'm like, fair enough. But yeah, what did you watch this week?
Long. I watched quite a bit of things, man. Oh,
I only watched one thing, so I feel like I should go first.
Okay.
I watched Fallout Season 2.
Who?
Fallout Season 2.
Fallout.
Bro, you are fumbling. I've never seen a bigger fumble in my life, bro. The show is so fucking good, man. Yes, bro. You act like, oh, but the game's right. You act like I disagree with you about the game. I don't like the game either. I think the game is
I got so much stuff to watch, bro. What? I got so much stuff to watch, man.
No,
I have
you
so
don't.
much to watch. I do.
No,
bro.
yeah, you do.
I got a sack of movies. I got like more shows.
Yeah, but Fallout is current.
Hold on, wait. I gotta keep going.
Fallout, it's so good. I love the aesthetic so much. The cast is really terrific. But I was texting you about it. Kyle MacLachlan is just, he's so fun. He's just delightful. Like, he was good in the first season, but he has a relatively small role. He has a much bigger role in the second season. And he's just, every time he's on screen, I just got a big smile on my face because he's just the best. I wish he was in more things. But yeah, it's just really, really solid. It's very impressive how the show manages to juggle different plot threads and have it manage to eventually come together in many ways while still leaving room to breathe. The ending of season 2, which I won't get into, I am mixed, not because it was bad, but because I'm very like, how are they gonna, like, what's season 3 gonna look like, kind of thing. But I'm very excited. I think season 3 is already like fully underway, so I think season 3 is not going to take as long as it took to get season 2, which is good. But yeah, man, very good stuff. And I also think they did a smart thing with the lore, because the show takes place in the same universe as the games, so all the game stuff is canon. But the show takes place last in the timeline, so it's like it's the most recent in the Fallout timeline. I think previously was Fallout 4. I think the show takes place like 80 years after Fallout 4, so they made sure there was a big gap there, so while they can still reference stuff from the games, they can very much still do their own thing, which I thought was a very smart move. And even though I haven't played Fallout, I do know some things about the lore, and it's interesting how much they're playing with the lore in the show and how they're explaining certain things, and they're actually doing like flashbacks in the past to set up stuff, but also explain some things, and also show where certain stuff came from in the lore, which is very, very cool. That's something that they pretty much couldn't really do in the games because they're open world games, and it's only really something you can do if it's very linear. So yeah, I think I feel like the people behind Fallout were probably very excited to explore some of those some of that stuff in the show, and I think it really paid off. It's just a really, really, really fun show that you should fucking get on that shit, bro. But yeah,
I did see they reference like New Vegas.
Reference? That's the whole season.
Oh my gosh, hold on, bro. Damn. they did the fucking meme. It was like, I mean you haven't been on TikTok, but like there's like the fucking death claw kill that I saw with the sniper. That shit was so fucking good. I did see that on TikTok.
That was a meme.
How was that a meme?
Yeah,
you just gotta know, bro.
All right.
Well, on TikTok it's like Juicy J has like an unofficial theme with like Fallout, and so like
Juicy J. Bro,
I'll fucking show you, bro. I'll show you ramen. Okay, but what I watch before, thankfully I remember this because I was gonna gloss over it. I binge watch actually Percy Jackson season 2.
Oh,
and that's good. It's good shit. I'm actually excited that they were able to like, you know, fully do these like books into series, and I'm curious to like really watch like the movies again, because you know like the movies are like, you know, I mean I like them because like they came whenever I was younger, but the shows are it's instantly better. Sure. But no, like the you know, this second season was a Sea of Monsters. They managed to do a lot of things right in the show, in the season, you know, showcasing like how, you know, like how Percy is fulfilling like because the whole thing about the Percy Jackson, like, you know, books, at least the first 5, is like the prophecy, how like Percy Jackson is a kid who he has a chance to destroy the world, and like this whole thing about a prophecy is like this whole thing. So they're showcasing that, and they do it in such a really cool way. I'm really liking all the performances from Walker Sobel, especially Walker Sobel as Percy. does a really great job at showcasing someone who is determined yet scared, but does the right thing for his friends. Um, there's also everyone who play the woman who plays Annabeth, really really good stuff. Clarice is really cool. Grover is awesome as well, and then also they showcase Percy's brother Tyson. But overall, like what they're doing with the show is really really cool, and I can't wait for season 3, which actually season 3 is supposed to be coming out this year. I mean, like, and that's good because when it comes to like child actors and like with them like signing on like these big deals, you gotta keep it moving. You gotta keep going. So can't wait to see what they do for the Titans Curse, because that's one of my favorite Percy Jackson books for sure. But there's that. Now let's get into the good stuff. By the good stuff, I mean the movies.
Brightburn.
That's next. But the first one is Paradise Records, directed and written by Logic. Sir Bryson Hall II.
Sir Robert Bryson Hall II.
Sir Robert Bryson Hall II.
Bro thinks he's Markiplier.
Bro. Here's my positives about the movie. It's fucking it's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous movie. It looks really really good. I think it's super bright. It's very vibrant. It is distinct, yet it pays homage to other people's work, such as Kevin Smith. He said, then again, I'm not into Orson Welles like that, but I want to know in what capacity he was influenced or inspired by Orson Welles.
He just be saying stuff, bro.
Maybe I mean there's a lot of parts in the film where it's like, I guess in a sense is like, there's like there's like segments, and each segment there's like kind of like a sentence before the segment of the movie. I don't know. But yeah, no, I think also when it comes down to the acting and the performances, I think everyone does a pretty solid job. Logic and T-Man, or his real name is Tremaine Hudson, they do pretty well together on screen. There's a solid amount of chemistry between the cast and how and how the story goes on. Also another positive, it's kind of like in the middle, is that the way this movie is filmed, it's like a web series. Like it feels like a bunch of like shorts, like just compiled into like one project, which is good, but it kind of makes it dysfunctional. And this is where I'm going to go into the negatives. The writing. And like, because this feels like it's tackling like a bunch of shit, it feels super disoriented, like as fuck. So what the film is like trying to say, it's like, yeah, like, it's like a day in a life of like these two people trying to keep their shop afloat. Logic's character is Cooper. He's like basically he took out like a loan, and he basically did everything on his own to try to help out his employees. So there's a problem with that, right? There's a common problem, which is cool, but I feel like they needed the money, right? But it goes into a completely different direction that I wasn't expecting, because you have like it turns into this like comedy drama, but then it kind of turns into this like action thriller that doesn't really need to be honest. I feel like the third act is just there for like funsies. I really wish the movie had went into like a different direction, or at least like I wish I understood why it goes into the direction that it does, because like now it just turns into like this chaotic mess that doesn't really need to be there. right? And then I also feel like at some point that Logic is just casting people just to cast them, and some of them are his friends, and some of them are not. But it's just like it's like, okay, like, you know, you could cast your friends in a movie, but like, what are they doing for this story that you're trying to create? And then with the writing, I know it's a Logic film because it's like how he's showcasing it through shot compositions, and like, you know, you see Paradise Records as like this place where it's like you have, you know, it shows Adam, it shows like young Sinatra posters, it shows like Logic's work on like shelves, but like some of the writing is just Logic that we've heard in his fucking songs. Like, this fucking dude keeps talking about his fucking dad's dick and shit, bro. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And like, there's multiple like, there's an ongoing joke about how like Logic is gay, which like I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to be about, and how like the way people feel about the biracial thing is how I feel about in this movie. It gets old so fucking fast, and it's like I get it, you know, you want to tackle that in your movie, like you want to talk about how like, yeah, you know, I grew up in this place where I felt like I didn't belong because I'm like a white passing black guy, which is cool. I don't mind that at all. But like, it gets to the point where like everybody is like talking about how white he is, and it's like, what the fuck are we, like what is going on in this story? I'm going on about it too long, but overall, I wanted to like him more, so I gave it a 3 out of 5. And it kind of also falls along the same thing where I like Logic being creative, and he's wanted to do movies for a while. So I'm glad that I was able to support him. I was able to support this movie by buying it. So that's Paradise Records.
I haven't seen it, so I have no opinion.
Yeah,
yet.
And there's, I mean, like, whenever you watch it, so there's like a part. Actually, I already told you. I don't like Oliver Tree. I fucking hate that guy. I don't like him.
What do you do to you?
I don't like what's the hype about Oliver Tree?
I don't know. I'm not really familiar with him.
I don't really like his music. In this movie, he's not entertaining at all. He's just someone that I really would prefer not to see. So I don't like that guy.
North, though.
Nolan North is good, but to me personally, like, if the movie goes into that direction of being like an action thriller, you gotta give him more to do, because the way the third act is that like it's Nolan North having to babysit this guy, the Oliver Tree. And the reason why they're like, dude, they're robbing shit and doing shit, there is no motivation. At least there's something that I'm missing. They don't really show why they're doing this. They're just doing this, and they just so happen to go into Paradise Records. But Nolan North is like kind of wasted in this a little bit.
How's Ron Perlman?
Ron Perlman's good. That's all it is.
How was Rainn Wilson?
Rainn Wilson, he's not even in the movie.
How was Tony Revolori?
People say he's the best part of the movie. I think he's pretty solid.
How was his dad?
His dad is cool. But like, it's also a thing too where like, another thing too. There's a lot of moments like, especially with his dad, like it's supposed to be like there's supposed to be like an emotional moment, and then it gets undercut by comedy, which like fucking.
So it's the MCU.
It's Guardians 2 mostly in that one scene, but like like I said, like it's like, oh yeah, like his dad visits him and they're talking about something because he's like, oh yeah, like, you know, I'm about to lose the shop and shit, and then like there's a comedic moment and it's like, okay, cool, and then like it keeps going on, and I'm like, bro, like what are we doing? And like I said, dude's talking about his fucking dad's dick and shit. Like, It's so weird. I'm gonna move on. Paradise Records, 3 out of 5. Low key might bring it down. Who knows? But then I watched Brightburn. It's pretty solid. It has that gun flair, considering James Gunn did not write it or direct it. It was his brother's. Produced by him, though. And, you know, in a world where the evil Superman media was running amok, Brightburn comes out. The one thing that I wanted more from this film is that, like, why is he doing this? Like I get, like, you know, there's the ship and it's talking to him and he's like, yeah, take the world, but it's like, why?
Well,
and
we got that answer in Superman.
We don't get that answer.
We did in Superman.
Yeah. And it's funny. It's funny because, like, you can tell that, like, this was like laying the groundwork for Superman for sure. And it was also like, obviously this is the same universe as like Super, so they were doing that. There was doing something like that. Unfortunately, they cannot do a sequel to Brightburn, and they're talking about it because the guy that produced it, or like the guy who like runs one of the companies, is like, he's literally missing. Like he had like a shit ton of lawsuits, and now he fell off the face of the earth. So he's like hiding. Oh. He's hiding somewhere, like
in Israel, probably.
I don't know.
A lot of them hide in Israel.
Crazy.
That's all I'm saying.
Man, no, it's I like Brightburn. Elizabeth Banks is really good. David Denman, really great. Want him in more movies. I need to see him in more movies. Yeah, no, good. Then I watched Tusk. Holy shit, Tusk, bro. Been wanting to watch this for a long time, for like a while. I'm a big fan of Kevin Smith. He's one of my favorite directors and one of my favorite writers. He knows how to craft dialogue, and he's also somebody that knows how to craft a great script as well. So when I watched on is on Netflix, and I was like, yes, Justin Long in a horror movie. I need that. I need more of that.
Justin Long in a walrus outfit.
It's so weird, bro. It's so crazy. I feel so bad for him. He's always getting some shit done to him. I mean, he signs up for it because Justin Long is just that guy.
He loves it.
But also Michael Parks, great.
Michael Parks,
great actor. Yeah, Michael Parks. But yeah, no, rest in peace, Michael Parks.
He's dead?
He's great. He's dead.
Oh my god, so much to tell Josh.
Oh yeah, you're right. But no, he's great. But also it was like the commentary of Tusk is really, really good. Basically, if you don't know what Tusk is, it's about this guy who gets turned into a walrus. But like one thing I liked about this movie that I said in my I'm gonna say in my review. I said, I'm not gonna lie, bro. If something like this happened to me, I would want someone to kill my ass. Cause like, bro, it's insane. And then I said, this movie has been on my watch list for some time now, and I truly admire how Kevin Smith is able to write dialogue. I'm loving the commentary of how someone's humanity can be taken away and being forced to live in a body that is no longer yours. Justin Long, being the absolute horror legend he is, nails his role and displays emotion like no other. Genuinely a fucked up movie, but so fun nonetheless. Because it's a horror body horror comedy, and funnily enough, Johnny Depp is in this. He's not credited as Johnny Depp. He's credited as Guy Lapointe.
I can't believe this movie is notoriously hated by most people, and you actually liked it.
It's a cult classic, but it's not Kevin Smith's worst movie, which I want to watch. Cop Out?
Yeah. People say this is his worst movie.
I thought it was something else.
I mean, Clerks, I guess. What else would it be? Zack and Miri make a porno? Like Jersey Girl?
No. It's something else. Yoga Hosers. That's when I heard that is like one of his, like, it's probably like the worst Kevin Smith project from what I heard. And like people it's like universally panned, and people say that it's like the like the lowest of like his career writing wise, which like
because his daughter's in it.
Well, no, not because of that. I don't know why, but I do want to watch that. But funnily enough, is that Tusk and Yoga Hosers, they're in the same thing because he wanted to do like a trilogy, the True North trilogy. He wanted, and he wants to make another. He wants to make another film called like Moose Jaws or something. I don't know.
Austin Butler's in Yoga Hosers.
Did not know that. But yeah, Tusk. I liked it. Give it a 7. Give it a 7 out of 10. And then my last one is Wake Up Dead Man.
Yeah.
Wake Up Dead Man is so fire, bro. I wish I had seen it in theaters. Fuck.
Yeah, bro, you fumbled.
But man, yeah, it's okay. It's on Netflix. All the
best
movies,
streaming service.
All the movies are gonna be on Netflix anyways.
After they buy it all, but even though they're
for real
billions in debt.
For real. Anyways, this is definitely the best out of the Knives Out trilogy. And Rian Johnson, who gives a fuck about Star Wars fans? Keep doing your fucking thing. Keep doing your shit because you're killing it with Knives Out. No pun intended.
Low key kind of shit on the dumbass Star Wars fans in this.
It did. Yeah, he did.
Fucking
it was funny.
Spoilers.
Yeah, no, like spoilers.
Yeah, bro. Fucking spoilers. But shit's over a month old, and I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it.
But yeah, no. All right, yeah, let's do it then. But man, like this story, like for me, like, you know, I'm a big sucker for like movies that tackle like religion, and this is one of the best movies that has done it, and it shows throughout the entire script. It is thematically complex and it's so good. It is really, really amazing.
It's so good. Just like the two main characters just having, religiously at least, opposite worldviews, and them clashing spiritually, but also being on the same page.
Exactly. And I said that in my review about how this movie is tackling the commentary of Christianity affecting all groups of people in different ways, but also like, yeah, like you said, there's different sides of it, because you have Josh O'Connor's character who, he has the, I guess in a sense, the innocent worldview of what Christianity is supposed to be. He's supposed to be helping people, supposed to be guiding them through a greater life through Christ.
Even though he has his own flaws in his own past.
Yeah, exactly.
God forgives and whatnot.
God forgives, and and how God is able to recognize that, yeah, you are a flawed person, but you're able to come out of that a better person. And then you have Josh Brolin's character, Monsignor Jefferson Wicks, who uses Christianity as a way to invoke hate and anger through a mob, or not through a mob, but to create a mob and to create people who are paranoid and afraid to turn down this figure because he like lives through faith, and he has a bunch of followers with him, right? And I think because of that, it creates such a great, not only a great ensemble of characters that are being driven by this character dynamic, but it just creates great tension and overall like fulfills the commentary in such a beautiful way. I said this in my review because one of my favorite lines of the film is, "What I see is not a guilty man in torment, but an innocent man tormented by guilt." Fucking fire.
Hard.
Fucking line.
Hard.
Fire line. God.
And like, similarly in that same scene, and also just throughout the movie, the use of light.
Yes.
When belief in the religion and God comes in, the light, the sun shines through the stained glass, and then if once that belief leaves, like when Benoit Blanc starts talking and starts disparaging the religion, the sun goes away. It's so, oh my god,
yeah, dude, I know that was amazing. The usage of lighting and how, dude, the gaffers, they need their dick sucked, bro. Like they need a yo. The grips and the gaffers, bro, they need a round of applause because they did that shit for real. Like that was so amazing.
Rian Johnson was on something else, bro.
I know, but he was cooking. He literally cooking. But to get on to my review, I said this is easily the best out of the Knives Out trilogy. The way the story is structured gives the movie a unique sense of identity, but not straying away from what makes Knives Out so special. The dialogue is layered, authentic, and adds richness to the script by highlighting how Christianity affects the characters, the audience, and even Rian Johnson himself. Everyone in the cast was phenomenal, as they showed an exceptional amount of range to create powerful character dynamics that I will say that this ensemble rivals from the first movie. The cinematography is gorgeous, and it's accompanied by the beautiful set design to give off the signature flair. The only negative I have is that I wish I had seen this in theaters. Man, this movie rocks. But like, dude, not only that, but I love how, when it comes to Knives Out, it derives from perspectives, right? Because you have like the beginning of the film where like, the whole thing about what makes Knives Out so special is like the aspect of like money, right? Or at least like a grand prize. And in the beginning it shows how like, oh yeah, like there's this person who they deemed as a harlot whore, and she's going around, she's like desecrating the church and everything, and she's like trying to find this like jewel. And then at one perspective it's like, oh yeah, like she's like an angry woman, but like at the end it shows how like she was provoked into doing that because she had an inheritance that was, she had been wrong for sure.
Interesting. And so almost like Rian Johnson did that in a different film and people didn't understand it.
Yeah, they would never understand, but that's what makes the writing so good. And so when it comes down to like just going back into the ensemble of the cast, you have Kaylee Spaney, Jeremy Renner, Kerry Washington, Thomas Hayden Church. Like
he was looking good.
I know he was. Hey man, look, dude, he was looking nice. He had the slick back hair, the goatee. Yeah, the goatee, dude. He was killing it. No pun intended. But yeah, like one thing I liked about, like I said, like when it comes down to Christianity, it's like they're affecting them in each different way. Like when it comes to Kaylee Spaney's character, she is a person that was affected by, she has like health problems and like nerve damage in her legs, and it's like, oh yeah, like how Christianity is like, oh yeah, if you give your faith to Christ, you're
all things can be healed through Christ.
Yeah, all things can be healed through Christ. But then also she was giving them money, and it was like, oh yeah, if you keep giving us money, we're gonna give you some research, and we're gonna put your faith into God, and you're gonna get healed. And then you have like, Jeremy Renner's character, his name is Dr. Nat, who lost his wife, and he feels that he wasn't rich enough, and he didn't have all this stuff. And then the how Christianity was affecting him was like, oh yeah, if you just gotta, like, if you pray to God, you will get your wife back. But he also has a very big part of the story too, which is, again, like it's accompanied by the motivation of the money factor, which is so cool. They have Martha, who she believes is doing things in the word of Christ, and even if it means like lying or in doing heinous acts, but that, again, like it has that delusion that people have. It's like, oh yeah, because I believe that I'm doing good in the name of Christ, it makes it's rectifying all the bad things that I'm doing. You see, like it's a pattern, and it's so fucking good. And the thing is, we see this shit every day.
Mm-hmm.
We see this through our media, through the people that we talk to, like if you haven't guessed it by now, Payne and I are black. We see this shit in our community. We see people who just feel like because they're Christians and they have this relationship with Christ, is that like they can do all this crazy shit and they can do all the bad things they can do. And it's like, oh, you know what? I got God with me. Motherfucker, you just like robbed somebody or some shit like that. You just did some crazy shit. And, you know, but also the one thing is that like you have the one person, the actual quote unquote, you know, not even quote unquote, the real priest trying to stop all this from happening. Josh O'Connor's character is so he does so well in this. Josh
And even
O'Connor's
then, even though he's good, he's not immune to outrage culture, because
yes,
even though they solved the case, he's still the murder priest to a lot of people.
He's still a murder priest. He's still some, yeah, like, you know, then again, he's still being attacked by like, you know, like a small town, and it's like, yeah, like, you know, like you said, it's being attacked by the outrage mob, the outrage culture, which is so crazy because we see this through like, you know, like celebrities, and, you know, just seeing like, oh yeah, like I do this, and then they're like, oh, because you did this, that means you're inclined to do this, and you do all this, so I hate you now. But it's
or
like,
because they feel like because of their belief in Christ, it automatically makes them a good person, even if their belief in Christ doesn't align with a certain political belief. Like for example, like at the Grammys, Jelly Roll won. I think that's his fucking name. Dumb fuck ass name. He won the Grammy, and he was like, I thank God, Jesus Christ, and everybody in this room. I don't care if you're Christ and God or whatever. And then he was asked about ICE, and he was like, "Oh, I don't. I'm a dumb redneck. Yeah, I'm a dumb redneck. I don't know what I'm talking about." If you don't shut your bitch ass up, man. Meanwhile, he has Instagram photos of him with Christy Nome and shit. My motherfucker, if you don't shut the fuck up, talk about Christ and God and shit, and meanwhile you're over here like, yeah, well, I don't know anything about them rounding up innocent people and killing innocent people. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely insane.
It also reminds me of some kind of like a Dogma, not to the same level as Dogma, but you have people who are like, oh, well, it criticizes the church and stuff like that, but it's extremely religious affirming, and if anything shows the good in the church and what it should be. And yeah, it shows the dangers and the extremely negative sides of the church. Of course, it is critical of the church, but it's not disparaging it inherently as a concept. It's a very personal movie for Rian Johnson. He said that Benoit in this movie and Josh O'Connor's character are two sides of him. He grew up very religious, but in growing up, he became very atheist and very jaded against that religion. And this movie was sort of him reconciling with his beliefs, and it's peak.
It's literally amazing. And then also when it comes down to like Josh O'Connor's character, is that like, yeah, he's having, you know, the whole thing also is that they reference is like, you know, like Paul's road to Damascus. And I like that a lot. Being like feeling like that you're being strayed away, or at least like you feel like you're not on the right path, then you have the opportunity to do something that changes the course of your life, is such a powerful thing that anyone could really do. And one thing that I liked about this movie, in this also Josh O'Connor's character, is that like he's being hit with all these negative things, where like, you know, he's being deemed as a killer priest, and like he has a whole town and like hate him, and like all the social media stuff. Oh yeah, not to mention, fucking, we have a guy who uses Christianity to blow himself up on YouTube and everything like that, and like you have that going
Even
on.
though it's not
But
really
anyways,
working.
yeah, for sure.
Until the end, at least.
But yeah, but then, but the continue on with this is that like even though his character, Josh O'Connor's character, is being attacked with him, like he's being hit with all these negative things, he still has the capacity to help people out. And we see that with, you know, as he's trying to solve the mystery, he's calling this person and she's like rambling and rambling, but then it's like, yeah, like I'm rambling because she feels alone. She's alone, and she says that like I had a bad fight with my mom because she's battling like cancer, and she has all these tumors in her head, and that's making her say hurtful things. So I said hurtful things, and like I want you to pray for me. So he gives this chance to pray for this woman, and
even though he's, you know, they're very tight on time, he still gives his time to devote to this woman, to pray for her and be with her.
Yeah, and that's a very powerful thing that this movie displays. And then again with the road to Damascus thing, is that like, you know, Benoit Blanc, he has this entire thing, and he's like, you know what, I can't solve the case. Everyone leaves, and he's like, you know what, I did that because I know who did it, and I called it from the beginning. I knew it was Martha, but it's like it because he did that, he was able to give Martha a chance to help Josh O'Connor's character become a priest again. And like I said, you know, it goes into where like how Martha is a character who is a commentary about people who believe that like, oh, because I was doing a good thing in my heart because I have a relationship with Christ, it was going to make everything okay. And you know Josh O'Connor's character in a sense like just is like, you know what, I absolve you of all your sins, thank you for like letting me, like thank you for talking to me about this and everything, and like that. Yeah, you know, so it's such a powerful movie, man. It is so great that I got the chance to finally watch it. And dude, oh my god.
And it's also, and we're talking about all this like serious like religious shit, it's also very funny. It's a very funny movie.
It is.
The part where they just flop Josh Brolin's body on the fucking table, yeah. Bro,
that shit was so funny.
And it kind of pains me because I want him to show up elsewhere, but now he's in this. But like Jeffrey Wright, he's only in 2 scenes, but each time he's like the funniest fucking guy.
I fucking love Jeffrey Wright.
Right at the end, the guy leaves. He's like, little punk bitch. Like, he's supposed to be this fucking I don't even know what he is specifically within the church, but like it just hearing that coming from that kind of a character is so fucking funny.
Also, like fucking it was so funny because like the guy, his name is Sai. He's like, yeah, man, like I did everything. Like, I tried everything. Believe me, I hammered the race thing, I hammered the gender thing, the trans thing, the border thing, the homeless thing, the war thing, the electric thing, the abortion thing, the climate thing about induction stoves, Israel, library books, vaccines, pronouns, AK-47s, socialism, BLM, CRT, the CDC, DEI, 5G, everything, all of it I did. Nobody, just nothing. That shit is so fucking funny, bro.
It's just the fact they just keep going, man. It's also depressing, but you know,
it is depressing. It is. John Carter's character, he's like, oh yeah, well, it's so fucking funny, man. People are just numb these days. I don't know why.
Yeah, Mila Kunis is in this. Not a fan.
You're not a fan of Mila Kunis?
No, man. Why? I mean, it wasn't originally supposed to be Mila Kunis. I think it was supposed to be Laura Dern initially, but I think she had to drop out, and so it's Mila Kunis now. But I definitely say
I think it definitely was a weak role from her.
She's not a good actress.
I think she's I mean, I like her voice acting.
Well, yeah,
she's Meg.
She's good as Meg. That's about it.
Yeah, I mean, It's fun.
Yeah, I initially gave it a 9, and I was like, I don't know if it's better than the first one. And then I rewatched it. I was like, nah, it's peak.
I say they're just on par, bro.
Nah, this one's better.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I would disagree.
But is that the show?
That is the show.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for listening to the Avengenerds podcast. If you want to follow us, we're at Avengenerds on Twitter. That's AVENGE Nerds. All one word. If you want to follow either one of us, you can reach me at @itzenith_ on Twitter, youtube.com/itzenith, and Zenith on Letterboxd. Where can they reach you?
You can reach me at Torrent Guy on Instagram and at Torrentino on Letterboxd.
Incredible. We also have a Discord if you'd like to join the conversation there. Those will be linked in the show notes. You can also check out our link tree for any additional links you may be interested in. You can also review the show in-app on Apple Podcasts. If you leave 5 stars in a review, it would really help us out. Thanks again for listening to the Avengenerds podcast. We'll see you next week.
Later.